Can't get me head in it.
Shuffle back. It's not easy for us.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Episode 18, I think, of Lift more, lose more. I think that's the right way around. Today we're talking about stuff. As you can see, we've got a load of gym-related stuff in front of us, and we're going to talk you through exactly what it is, why you may need it, probably why you don't need it. It wasn't long ago that I was squatting in flip-flops, so I've not really used much of this myself. I think Pete's going to talk about quite a bit of it, and then I'll just chip in a bit. Do you want to start?
Yeah, let's get from Michelle on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Just about weightlifting belt, so that's where we'll start.
Yeah, why not?
My weightlifting belt. Probably the most overused bit of equipment in the gym. This, you'll see everyone, all the top powerlifters and things like that, most people wear belts. A belt is not there to hold you back in. It's not there to keep your posture right, it's not there to protect your back itself. What it does, as you wear a belt, it makes you breathe out into the belt. As you breathe out into the belt, that braces your core and puts you in a much better position for a lift. The belt itself isn't designed to be ratcheted on really tight so you can't breathe and hold you in position. The belt is there just to be an aid to breathe out into it. Now, when do you need a belt? This is quite a light belt, it's quite thin. Up until last year I never wore a belt, and I wore a little bit because I started doing overhead squats and was getting a bit of pain in my back. That was all. Belts should only really be worn if you're working with weight of over 90% of what you can lift. You don't want to be wearing them for everything. They will make you take a little bit of strain off your core by providing something to push against. So the whole point of using it is to get maximal lifts out. It's not for building up your strength, it's not for every session, every set that you do. All your warm-up sets do without a belt, whether it's squats, deadlifts, Olympic lifting, anything that's going to put a strain in your back, where breathing out and controlling that trunk is going to make you a little bit better. I wear it for bench, squat and deadlifts, and that's it. Occasionally overhead press. Don't work up with the belt because your abs will relax and you won't actually gain the strength that you need for the lift. Just use it for your very top efforts as a bit of a peace of mind to make sure your breathing is there. It isn't the be all and end all. It won't suddenly make you lift lots of weight. You don't need it for bicep curls, you don't need it for walking lunges and lateral raises. People seem to ratchet them on really tight and wear them for all these exercises. It's there just as an assistance on your very, very heavy lifts, not for it to rely on all the time.
Yes, just one thing I really want to mention is people wear them because they've got bad backs, or they think they've got bad backs, and you see them, like Pete said, doing the bicep curls and tricep extensions with them on. More often than not, it's people that either don't train their legs, have shoddy form, or have a posterior chain that's weak as piss, basically. So, if that's you, solve the problem rather than wrapping yourself in a belt. So strengthen your glutes, strengthen your hamstrings, strengthen your lower back. Like Pete said, do the build-up sets without them, concentrating on your technique, and you'll find probably that your back pain goes and you don't need a belt anyway. That's about it.
Yeah, belts don't fix back pain.
Yeah,
Strong backs fix back pain.
Yeah, solve the problem rather than wrapping a belt around it. Shall we go to chalk? Liquid chalk, normal chalk, basically helps your grip. I only really used this about three years ago when I was concentrating on my deadlifts. Put some on for a bit of a laugh, and it transformed my life because I could actually lift what I was trying to lift. Yeah, it does the job.
It's probably the cheapest bit of equipment here,
Yeah.
and probably if I had to use one bit of equipment overall, for training wise, that'd be it.
What's that cost? About £8?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, so I think £8 at most.
Last you for ages as well.
yeah, use it for your deadlifts. If you do have problems with grip, we're going to get to these in a bit, which will sort of work hand in hand. But yeah, if you have problems with grip, this is perfect. There's much else to be said about that.
Not really, no, we'll go straight on to the wraps.
Yeah.
So, I use the lifting wraps and then I just come with chalk and I can hold on to the bar much better. All that does, it takes away the sweat, so you can grip the bar much better. These are another bit of kit that are massively overused, the wrist wrap. All this is a bit of fabric, you loop it through, as so, pop your arm through, and then it just sits onto your hand like that. The idea is that this then wraps around the bar, and I hold it, and I can't let go of the bar. I kind of like screw it on, so as the bar slips or anything like that, it just tightens on, and it's strapped to my wrist. Great, again, for very, very maximal work. Stuff where you're relying on your grip. Some of the top powerlifters will use it, the strong men use them and things like that. These are another one that people use all the time, use them for like pull downs, use them for bent over rows, use them for stuff. And all they're doing is stopping their grip from working and getting stronger. To be really strong, you've got to have a strong grip. If you're using these on all your sets, you're not going to ever develop a strong grip to lift really maximal weight. Grip strength is key to most lifts. If you can't hold the bar, you won't lift the bar. It's as simple as that. It's a bent over row, like pull down, pull-ups, rows, everything you do. If you can hold the bar securely, you'll move the weight in a much better fashion because you'll have full control. These can play a part in your training, but again, they take away from your body doing the actual work. So as with the belt, it takes away from your core having to do the work, which isn't the idea. The idea is that we get your core strong and then we just use this for one. With these take away from your grip doing the actual work, so if you take them off, the grip isn't there to hold the bar. Chalk is a much better idea. Just get rid of the sweat and make your forearms do the work. You ever see the really strong people, they've always got big forearms. They always go, you see the old labourers off building sites and things like that, carry heavy stuff all the time. Get big forearms, get your forearms as strong as possible, and then it'll translate into your lifts and into your fitness much better than substituting the grip for these wraps. They don't look cool. Don't just wrap them around your wrist and have them dangling there like a lot of people do. Yeah, don't really bother.
Yeah,
my advice.
Yeah, like Pete said, with the belt, if there's a weakness, sort the weakness out. Don't start using things to cover up a weakness. If you're needing them for some light lat pull downs or, I don't know, whatever it is you're using them for, you might be better off just working on some heavy deadlifts with some chalk to sort your grip out, and then you'll find you won't need these for doing some tricep push downs. Fanny pad.
Let's go for it.
The fanny pad, has this got a proper name?
No.
Pad. Right. A lot of people wrap this around the bar and start squatting with it, and because of how thick it is, it ends up in a ridiculous position, halfway up your head. You can't lock your shoulders back into position. Yeah, just stop using these for squats. If it's hurting your neck, the bar isn't meant to be on your neck. The bar is meant to be resting on your traps. So have a look at your squat setup. Have a look at the position of your shoulders. Have a look at the position of the bar on your shoulders and how you are locking it into place in your upper back. The only real use these have are for doing heavy glute bridges and stuff. Shall I give a demo?
I'll
give a demo. Do you want to be the bar?
I would absolutely love nothing more.
So basically, imagine this is wrapped around a bar. Hang on, I'll just. There you go.
A little bit of what?
So that will basically be over your hips, so that you've not got 100 kilo pressing down on your hip bone, and then here we go. A bit more leg.
Ladies.
There you go, ladies, and some men, I suppose. But yeah, it's just there to protect your hips more than anything. Go on.
The difference where it comes in with a glute bridge rather than a squat is there is no muscle to protect on the hip bone.
Yeah.
You can't hook change the position. It's supposed to be on the bone normal, so you do need that for heavy glue bridges. So you see people use pads and mats wrapped around it, things. Another inexpensive bit of kit. If you are going to go heavy with glue bridges, it's worth spending a few quid and getting one, just so you can keep that bar in the right position and be a lot more comfortable.
And that's quite a fancy one. How much was that?
That was only about 15, 16 quid.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably get it cheaper than that. Or you can go B&Q and just get some pipe lagging and wrap that round if you want a cheaper version. Right, final one is there? I know two more.
I'll speak about these because Scott's about to speak about his favourite bit of kit.
Yeah.
These are Olympic lifting shoes, weightlifting shoes, we've got Ollie shoes, whatever. They've made a big resurgence since CrossFit and things like that, more people using Olympic lifts. Basically, all they are, why they're special, why they're technical, they've got a slightly raised heel, and that is completely solid. So some of them it's wooden, some of them it's just plastic, you can't bend that heel. All it does is keeps a nice firm contact with the ground, nice and flat, so as you're squatting or cleaning, jerking, things like that, you're not going to slip, you're not going to, as you see on my normal trainers, we've got some padding in the bottom, so I've got a chance of rolling my ankle, turning, some force will be pushed down and absorbed by the sponge, which it's designed to do. These are great for squatting, you shouldn't really wear them for deadlifting, because it pushes your ankle a little bit further forward, and anything overhead, anything Olympic lifting. Another bit of kit that you don't really need. These are a fancy bit of kit. I got them 3 years ago. You can see they're still pretty much brand new. I wear them once a week for about an hour. They work really well for what they do. They'll stop your foot rotating, they'll keep you nice and flat, they'll keep you in a good position, but they're not, again, the be all and end all. Learn to squat without them, lift heavy weight correctly before you even think about putting a pair of Ollie shoes in. And yeah, this strap across the front will secure the middle of your foot as well. So as you take this, it just makes sure that your foot stays nice and tight and you don't get any wobble as you do any heavy lifting. You'll see all sorts of fancy ones kicking around, very expensive bits of kit. These were on offer. Obviously I don't spend a lot of money on the kit. But yeah, you don't really need them either unless you're going into the world of Olympic lifting or very heavy like squatting and things like that. Now, Scott's best friend.
Well, it's my best friend. I don't really know what it's for, to be honest. I just spend a lot of my time rolling around on it. But foam rollers, you can get all sorts. You can get some that are just all foam and are a bit spongy and probably don't do a lot. You can get some like this that have a solid bit of plastic piping, and you may have seen the knobbly ones, for lack of a better word, to be honest, and they hurt. But it's really just a self-massage tool, if you like. So if you've got any tight areas, any sore points, I'll be able to give another demonstration, aren't I? You basically roll around on it. So you find the sore points, you roll around, it loosens that area off, it can increase the blood flow around that area, and if I just show you, on my many sore points.
Loving it today.
So, say you've got a sore quad, I'll get my legs out again.
Trained them yesterday.
Yeah, there we go. There, and you just basically roll around a little bit. This is the weirdest thing I've ever done on camera. And no, it's not actually. And where you ever find the sore point, just spend a bit of time on there, just loosening it off. It's not the amazing thing people claim it is. It's just a tool to use to loosen off certain areas when they are tight. Use them before a workout. Use them on your days off. There's one other thing I was going to mention. I can't remember. You can finish up.
Yeah, technically myofascial release, self-massage, all about. Yeah, really good before to get you warm, really good after to recover, really good the day off to help you recover. Very inexpensive bit of kit. I think Aldi were doing them every week for like £4.
Yeah.
Another inexpensive bit of kit.
Alongside fishing rods.
Yeah, and speedboats. I think the takeaway I gave, if you're going to invest in 2 bits of kit, with them two, look after yourself, make sure your grip's strong so you can lift correctly. The rest of it is when we get a little bit further advanced. You can spend a fortune on knee sleeves, elbow sleeves, wrist wraps, all sorts of kit. There's an endless supply of people trying to make money off you. As you know, we don't like people wasting money. We're not keen on people wasting money on supplements and also on equipment. I have a lot of equipment due to the type of training that I do, but it doesn't get used for every workout. It's there for when I need it for a certain thing. Most times I'll deadlift without a belt, squat without a belt, squat without my shoes. Just when I want to push it to 90% and above, I'll use equipment. Apart from that, you don't need to invest a fortune into training equipment. Get a cheap pair of trainers. You've got a combined total of about £40 worth of trainers here. Yeah. We're doing well.
We're two of the tightest people.
Yeah, you're safe with us, right? And then we'd give you £10 worth of equipment.
Yeah.
And you'll be sorted for everything you need to do to get a good physique, to be strong, and to be healthy. Don't worry about heart rate monitors. Don't worry about Fitbits. Don't worry about them. They all have a place. They can all work, but you don't need it. It's not essential. Essential is just you getting to the gym and doing some work. That's essential. Next week we're going to cover some lifts that you're probably doing wrong. Some movements that we see done incorrectly a lot of times, and I'll probably go off on a rant about poor form because it drives me insane. Just to let you know. And now we can just truly appreciate how pale I am next to Scott.
Yeah, I had a sunbed yesterday because I'm going to Vegas next week, so I just wanted to top it all up.
I didn't, in case you were wondering.
It's worked anyway.
As always, any more questions, send them through. Like I say, this came off the back of a question, so we do actually respond and reply. Yeah, let us know. Hope you all had a good bank holiday weekend. And have a good weekend.
And if My Protein want to send us any more goods through.
And if someone wants to send us a studio, so when the managers are in, we can do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Speak to you all soon.